We are in. Hello, hello. It is Sunday. We are Some Other Heroes. It is Some Other Heroes Day. Hello, everybody. It's a pretty special Sunday, actually, because we're really throwing things about just for the weird for this week. As you can see, there are only three of us at the minute. Charlie will be joining us a little bit later. But
she's been sent to her room to think about what she's done.
She has, both in and out of game. She is currently in another room thinking about what she's done. So I'll start the introductions. My name is Chris. I use he, him pronouns. I am your resident dungeon master, just an all-round geek, an illustrator, and I have the absolute pleasure of shaping a story with these lovely people, of whom... Does the rule of you can't go first still apply, Theo? Wait, Wayne, you go first.
Why would it not apply? I'm
well, I thought you also said that you didn't want to go last all the time either. So.
Decisions. Hi, everybody. I am Wayne. My pronouns are he, him. I am a creative director and designer and branding coach. And I am playing the slightly confused and ever so eloquent dragonborn Rok today.
Amazing. Theo, would you like to go next?
Hello, I'm Theo. I am an illustrator, and my pronouns are they, them, and I will be playing Eugene, the half-elf wizard.
Amazing. And our third party player is Charlie, who uses she, her. She is also an illustrator and will be joining us probably in about an hour's time.
If we can save her.
If you can save her. If not, she's going to be meeting your new characters. Oh
boy. No pressure.
No pressure. But yes, she'll be with us a little bit later. Hi, Nikki. That's a very good point. In our chat, we have amazing mods. We have Bespectacled Man, who is Nikki, and we have the amazing Feline Trickster. They may not be as present as normal, but don't worry. We're still out there keeping an eye on things because Wayne and Theo also have the power, and they do like to shove things with the banhammer. It's powerful. At the end of this stream, please stick around because we will be jumping over to Wicked Game, who start their 8-day charity week. The Wicked Week starts after this episode, and we are really excited to be able to drop you in there. And I think it's Wicked Workshop tonight, isn't it? Yeah. So they're going back to their roots, where they're the original podcast that started it all. And doing Lord of the Rings as their pop culture, which will be exciting and fun. I have money on Michelle wearing a Frodo t-shirt at the very least, but she has talked about the possibilities she may be in full Hobbit regalia, so we'll see how it goes.
She doesn't have the hairy feet. It's not complete.
Well, that we know. That's between her and Nikki. Surely.
Yeah, let's just move on, shall we?
Right. So, before we jump back in, I'm going to do a quick recap. Peril, terror, and excitement. Last week, our three adventurers found their way to the Fey Enclave just outside of Cloud's Cairn, near the cairn itself, looking for Ghost, a Chthoric warrior and someone that Eugene knew from very early in their adventures, who may have information to help them protect the Sky Shield, the mystical shield that protects the scattered lands from falling out of the sky, basically.
That's all.
Yep, that's pretty much it. Kind of important. They met Auntie Needles properly and her wife Mallory. Spent some time in the Twilight Market, a strange and whimsical place where pretty much anything can be bought, but at the cost of pretty much anything that you could imagine. Upon returning to where they were staying, they found that an old friend of Rok's was in the area. The human... Sorry, excuse me, just checking my notes. Aaron, who told a story about finding something out about the Crythoric and how they could get to them, but having had that memory stripped away from them by the Unseelie Fae who live on the other side of Twilight. Auntie Needles was unable to directly help, her domain only stretching as far as the beginning of Twilight. So, our three heroes step through a shadowy version of their own caravan into a bit of a reflection, the same place but darker and a bit more wilder and more dangerous.
Bit more upside downy.
Yeah. They met with the leader of that particular enclave, the Granny Driftwood, a very powerful hag, who says she would return these memories if our heroes could return her daughter, who lost the competition with a three-headed Ettin who had set up shop in the local inn, the Lost Child. Upon meeting this individual, they captured Aisling and put them in a cage and have issued a challenge to our two remaining party members. They must tell stories in order to win back both Aisling, Driftwood's child, and their own freedom and life. So, we start. You are standing in the middle of this very open area that kind of looks like a storytelling ring.
I mean, we're all familiar with the storytelling ring, right?
Yeah.
With those combative storytelling rings, yeah.
Or a blood sands, that sort of thing. Is there much difference between this in this particular instance?
Nice.
The challenge has been issued. Aisling has been taken from you. The Ettin sits back in his massive chair and barks, Asriel! Asria! Come out and explain the competition. A withered-looking old woman wearing green tattered robes that kind of drag all over her with lank, long hair and a very pronounced hump, kind of pulls herself out of the audience of strange fae that kind of surround you and comes down. As she kind of comes in front of you, you kind of are overwhelmed slightly with this musky smell of rot and decay. And she kind of stamps this staff on the floor twice, and it makes this wonderful booming echo. She turns. 3 stories must be presented. 1 from each of you and 1 together. I shall judge their worth and deem them fit or fair. 1 of your stories must be a truth of self. 1 story must be the truth of another, not the storyteller. And 1 story should be fiction pure, but sound real. Once these are presented, we will gauge and guess. If we guess 1, but not all, you have won. If we guess none, then you have lost. This is a test of wit and wisdom. Good luck. And she kind of grins, this sort of gap tooth grin. And she turns back to the Ettin and bows. And then disappears, like kind of sits beside him. In turn, I shall also tell 3 stories. One from each of us, and one from the left, one from the right, and one from the middle. And you can guess which one is which. So, I will allow you a moment to discuss this between you before we start.
That's terribly generous of you. You certainly know how to take the joy out of storytelling. Right, I'll just confer with my friend. We're just going to go over here and prepare. If that's, we'll let you know when we're ready.
You guys look around for a spot that you can sort of settle on, and you see there's actually one table with 2 very small fairies on it, one of which looks very rat-like and the other looks like an armoured badger, but slightly more humanish, and they actually wave you over.
Let me go over there.
They're calling us over. Honestly, I don't know what the rules are anymore. Right, come on, let's head over. I'll head over cautiously to the badger and the thing, and the fairy. Yes?
You've put yourself in quite a predicament there, haven't you, laddie? Why don't you sit down for a second? And I'll fix you a drink. The badger just kind of pulls out like 4 leather cups. And the rat kind of leans in to go, so, you need a plan and 3 stories amongst you, but we know the way this works, and we have a hint for you. Just because you know the identity of one of his stories does not necessarily mean that you have to say it correctly.
Wait, so you're basically saying we're allowed to lie?
Be careful about it, yes. I should only let the one who is good at lying lie.
I think that means you.
I'm not sure any of us are particularly good at lying. But, I don't mean to be rude, but who are you, and why should we sort of take your help? It doesn't exactly feel like we're amongst friends here.
The 2 of them look at each other a second. You're not the only one who's found themselves the wrong side of Twilight. And if we help you, maybe we can get back.
Well, wait, how long have you been here?
Not that long. A month, maybe.
Right, okay. So, Eugene, so the rules, we've got 3 stories, 1 each, 1 together. 1 has to be a truth of self, 1 has to be the truth of another, and the other has to be fiction.
Yes. But then I'm unclear. Then they have to guess which story is which?
Yes, and if they guess all 3, correct or incorrect, I think we lose. I think the idea is that we have to be sneaky enough that they will guess one of them correct and one of them wrong, kind of thing. I think. Is that right? I'm going to look at the badger and the rat.
They both nod.
Okay, good.
They can get 1 right or 2 right, but if they get all 3 right, you've lost because it was too easy. Ideally, you want them to get 1.
Right. Okay, so
we need to make 1 really obvious.
And the other's very difficult.
And the others, yes, in sort of enough that they're questionable.
Have you got copper coins on you?
Yes, I have some copper coins.
Can you pause you each like a wine? That's 2 copper a cup. Rules of reciprocity. If we give you something for free, you owe us.
Of course. Yes, fine. Here we go, and I'll give him two coppers for mine and 2 coppers for Eugene's.
We'll leave it to your plan.
Just a general. I thought we weren't supposed to take and drink things. Is it the same here in this kind of shadow version? I'm a little grey on the rules these days.
You've paid for it, so it's yours. So it's safe.
He's not going to enchant me or something. But...
It's just wine, but you are welcome to take it, leave it as you want to.
Good. No, that's fine. I'm going to knock back the glass of wine and give him 2 more coppers and say, "Could I have another? That'd be great. Thank you." Right. So, I mean, I guess the tricky one is going to be how we tell a story together if we don't have time to prepare an entire story. But oh, I know what we could do. Why didn't we tell the story of a fey god that we beat? I mean, they won't believe that, so that'll be questionable.
Would that count as the truth of self, though? If it's a story about both of us?
No, probably not. Okay, let's try it. Oh, I tell you what, I could tell the story of fiction. I mean, I've read and written enough stories of fiction that I could tell one that sounds real, I think.
Okay.
So I could do that one. And then right, okay, good. The truth of another. Whose truth could we tell? I mean...
So you kind of get the impression that the truth of another just can't be your individual truth. So you can tell a story that you know of one of the other members of your party, providing you're not the one who, like, so example, Eugene could tell a story about Rok and vice versa, or either of you could tell a story about Aisling or any individual that you've met. It just cannot be your own truth. It just has to be truthful.
Oh, hey, Rok, you could tell the story about how I jumped off a dragon that time. I mean, no one's going to believe anyone would be stupid enough to do that.
Oh, that's a good idea. I mean, to be fair, I was there, and I'm not sure I believe it, but...
I did it, and I'm not sure I believe I was stupid enough to do it. So.
Okay, so I can tell that... Why don't we both do the story of fiction, then?
Oh, yeah, because we have to do one together, don't we?
Yeah, we can just kind of, bounce it back and forth and just try and make it realistic, but essentially just, like those things people do where you start a story and I carry on the next bit and then I hand it back to you. And because that way we can basically say whatever we want and we can try and make it seem realistic, but it'll be the fiction one.
Okay.
I think.
Sounds like a plan.
I don't know. I'm grasping here. I've never had to think so much about rules for storytelling. I don't
so
like
that
it.
means I have to tell a truth about myself.
Self.
And okay, so we have to make it something really obvious because we have to have one that is easy to guess. What's something very believable about me?
That you're very close to your mother?
What are you trying to say?
That you are forging your own path in a desperate attempt to get your father's validation. I'm just throwing ideas out there.
I don't like this game anymore. I want Aisling to come back.
Well, yes, so do I. Why do you think I'm telling these stories? I mean, you could tell the truth of another if you want, and I can tell the truth of self. I mean, I don't mind. You decide which one you think you'd rather do.
Just trying to think of a good story about myself. Don't have very many.
You can smell in the air something musty coming towards you.
I'm just going to go, Oh God, did someone die?
And the older haggish woman kind of comes up. How are you
Oh
progressing?
God. Don't. Would you rather? We're slightly busy. If you could come back in a bit, thanks. That'd be great.
Time is pressing, remember.
I'm well aware of that, and you're taking some of our time away now. So if you could just go over there, a little out of distance, that'd be great. Oh wait, I have some perfume. I'm going to take some perfume out just very subtly. Just very subtly take some perfume out and just go as she walks away and then put it back in.
Do a slight hand check for me.
Oh no.
Okay, sleight of hand. Okay, 19.
Cool. Yeah, I don't think she notices. It doesn't really. It's, you know that sort of like where you pour a perfume over something that's just really foul and it just kind of blends together. It's that sort of effect.
Are there like members of the audience, so to speak, like near us that can see us?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of eyes on you right now. Even though your
Okay.
table's off to one side, like pretty much everybody in the room is really invested in this. Like this is kind of like their night's entertainment.
So when I do that, when I spray the perfume as she walks away, I'm going to make sure that I kind of catch some of the audience's eyes as I do it and kind of do a whole like, ooh. Kind of try and get a little bit of a laugh from what I'm doing.
There's a ripple of it, like a chuckle out of the circle, and she kind of turns and looks at you and scowls.
I'm going to immediately do one of those ridiculously casual poses, like.
She scowls at the pair of you and then just goes back to what she was doing before.
Right. Okay. So which one do you want to do, Eugene?
Oh God, I don't know. It's so stressful.
What about? Wait, hang on. What about if you told a story about your family? I mean, telling them that you have a father who is one of the greatest heroes of the realm and a mother who is a powerful magic user. Perhaps that's one of those that's sort of could be true, but you have a very unassuming air about you. You don't walk around in great gold armor, so they might not be sure that was true.
True. But then don't we need a story that's really obviously true?
We do. So I could tell... who could I tell a truth of that would...
All the wonderful people that
God.
you've met since your journeys in the Scattered Lands, all the wonderful adventures you've had, who could you lean on out of those? You actually have stories about dragons and giants and fey gods and people trapped.
Yeah. So those... I mean, I could tell... If you could make yours believable, then I could tell the truth of Parshkik. I mean, it's true, but would they believe that there was a dragon that helped us defeat a fey god on an island floating in purple mist that nobody knew was there until a few weeks ago? Okay, months ago. A little fuzzy on times. So I could tell that story, and then the fiction story, we could tell a story together, and we'll make it up.
And we're just gonna make that up.
Oh yeah, we'll just
Okay.
make it up.
Right. Okay.
Because if we get the other two right, which we know those stories better, if we get those right, then we can get them to. Then the fiction one doesn't have such a kind of huge importance if they don't get it right. If they don't guess it right.
Okay. Yeah, because we don't want them to guess them all, but we also want them to guess one of them. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So I'll tell. I think I'll tell the story of when my dad defeated the great dragon.
There you go. Wait, but that's a story of another.
Wait, that's okay.
Fake competitions are very yes.
I'm just going to shout back at them and just go, do you have any other rules we can choose from?
Okay, well then I'll tell the story about when I jumped off Parshkik, but then we're telling 2 stories about Parshkik, so we can't be lying about both of them, so that'll be really obvious. Well, how have we been talking about this for 10 minutes and we're still...
I don't know. I told you I don't do storytelling under pressure.
Because this has 2 layers to it. That's one of the reasons. Because it's a Fae competition, it has layers. Rok is used to just walking on stage and just competing against other bards to kind of get the most attention and the most belief. But the whole idea that you have to trick them, but also get them to believe you at the same time, it's kind of fun.
I do think you should tell the story of you jumping off a dragon, though.
Can I get a wisdom check off of the both of you, actually?
I mean, I don't know what what the dice say, but I'm feeling like it's low.
Not so bad for me. I got 17.
17.
Awesome. Wisdom.
Yeah.
It's not wisdom. There we go. Okay, I got an 11.
11. Both Rok, you're reasonably certain, and Eugene, you are absolutely certain that it is going to be better for Eugene to 1, tell the truth, and 2, tell the truth about themselves. They are not a natural storyteller.
Yep. Yeah, I think you know that story well too, so it would be easier for you to tell that story.
Oh, we could do. I do a story about me, right? And then you do the fiction, just you.
Right.
Then I don't have to lie or make anything up that has to sound true.
Yes, and I've got many fictional stories I can just.
We can tell the story of Parshkik together.
Oh, good thinking. Good. Well, that didn't take long at all.
So then I don't have to lie or make anything up, because I feel like in the heat of the moment I'm not reliable at.
Oh, please, you're perfectly fine, I'm sure. Although I really don't know how things work here, so that may be a complete lie. But don't worry about it; it's fine. Okay, so what order should we go in?
You go in any order you want to. They weren't specific about how to do it. They are going to go first. The Ettin looks like they're going to go first. They're patiently waiting.
Okay, right. So I tell you what, let's do the Parshkik story together at the end. I mean, that's quite a big story, so that's kind of that's our climax. That's our big finish. So how about? I'll do a fictional story first, and then you, and then we'll do it together. Is that all right? Does that work?
Great. I don't like to go first.
I had heard that. Yes. So, good. Okay. Now, anything else we should know?
I think
I'm going to look at the rat and the badger and be like,
they seem.
How are we going to guess? How are we going to know what they're telling is true?
God, I have no idea.
Do they have any tells?
Oh yes, you two. You've been here a while. How do we know if they're lying?
Well, so from what we can tell,
it's going to be one of those things where one of them can't lie, one of them can only tell the truth.
Oh Jesus! I never understand those riddles.
Bovi is boastful. Brali is sly.
Wait, I have to take these notes. Bovi is boastful.
Brali is sly. And Braal is clever.
Right. I think we're going to have to just play this by ear, but let's hear their stories first. They look like they're raring to go. I mean, yes, they do have kind of home advantage, which is a little annoying, but still.
So you guys letting them know you're ready?
Not just yet. I'm making them sweat a little bit. Hang on. I'm also. What checks are we rolling for these, Chris?
It'll be your choices. Usually insight, deception, or persuasion.
All things that Eugene is great at, by the way. Like...
Well, that's why I was going to cast something to help Eugene, but I'm not sure which to cast. I guess intelligence or wisdom.
Well, it'd mostly be wisdom.
Wisdom I need help with.
Wisdom and
Wisdom
and charisma are going to be much heavier than intelligence.
Maybe charisma.
My intelligence is high, but my wisdom and
maybe charisma for
charisma
storytelling.
is low.
Okay, so I shall. I'm going to so dramatically swing Eugene round to face me and grab him by the shoulders and look straight at him and go, "You're very good at everything you put your mind to. Now think about your books. You've read a lot of stories,
Okay.
and just relax and
Right.
enjoy yourself. Even though our lives rest
It's
on
hard
it."
to relax when you're holding me so tightly.
Oh, I'm
though.
sorry. Yes, sorry. I'll let him go, and I'm just going to go. You've got this. I know you have, and I have my utmost confidence in you. And I'm going to cast Eagle's Splendor, so you have advantage on charisma checks.
Lovely.
Let me just mark that off, so I know that I've used a spell.
Nobody bats an eyelid when you cast, so clearly this is not against the rules.
Oh yeah, I hadn't thought about that. Great, good.
So, are the two of you ready to do this?
Sure, why not? Okay. As soon as we're kind of ready, I'll turn around and just kind of give a very elaborate bow and then kind of look at them as if we've been waiting forever.
The hag nods, like solemnly, at the two of you, then lifts her staff and cracks it with that thunderous noise again on the floor. The test of free tales will begin now. No other lies or secrets are to enter the ring. Those that are not participating must keep their stories to themselves. And she kind of points at this goblin, if you talk amongst the performers again, I'm going to come over there and cut your tongue out with a blunt knife.
Wow, tough crowd.
She kind of waves the two of you forward. Who is going first? And what is the given name you would like to go under?
Wait, I thought they were going first.
Well, one of you has to go first between the two of you.
So we're going first after them?
Yes.
Oh, good. Well, okay. I believe it's me. Is it me?
Yes.
It's me. Good. Okay, good. I'll do the fiction first. Good, me.
She kind of... Don't
say that.
Don't tell us what you're... Fortunately, you were very lucky because the Ettin is barely paying attention. I think he's fairly much convinced he's won this.
God, this just sums it all up. Shall I write down which one we're each doing?
It's just an elaborate double bluff, or perhaps even triple.
Ha! I nearly had you fooled.
So she steps back and allows the two of you to take center stage, as it were, in the middle of this floor. All the eyes fall upon you, and you can feel the tension. Somewhere in the back, you hear a small, quiet drum beat start. And it kind of resonates around until it feels like everybody around you falls away. So it's just you two and this gargantuan figure of the Ettin hovering above you.
I'm just going to quickly say to Eugene, well, they do love the drama, don't they?
Says you.
I beg your pardon?
Nothing.
That's a little bit of shade. Before any of the other two can talk, the head in the middle leaps out with starts its booming voice like echoing around the chamber. There once was a giant...
Sorry, just a quick question. Sorry, who are you? I just wondered if I could have your names, just so we're clear.
The hag kind of slaps her head a little bit, and then you're not entirely certain how she closes the distance, but your knuckles are wrapped with her staff.
It was a simple question. I'd like to know who I'm competing against.
This will be Bovi going for first.
Right. Okay. Good. Thanks.
Now,
need to be aggressive.
She kind of waves her staff. Bearing in mind that you think if she stood upright, she would actually be about as tall as Driftwood.
Yeah, but she can't. She got a hand.
Now, mind your manners. Impunity is not to be respected. She wanders off back to the middle again.
I am going to, as she walks away, I'm going to look at the audience again, even though I'm not sure I can see them, and just do a whole impunity.
Oh dear. Bovi leans forward. I tell a story of a giant from an age past. Their repast defeated by Fae from another land. Their land scoured by the magics of mortal men. Their home cracked and finding themselves in a place above the sky they had always seen beyond their horizon. I tell the tale of a simple giant of 2 heads who found a stone of great power that changed them, made them smarter, made them stronger, made them the king among their kinds. And thus did a 3rd head grow, and with that head came the 3rd characteristic they needed. I tell a story of a giant who outshone even the brightest and bravest of mortals, took place in a court not his own, and won the hearts of a people so much smaller than himself. I tell the tale of a giant cast out by deceit, by greed, and egregiously waits his return to his rightful place. And with that, the room falls silent again. The hag turns to you, Rok, and taps her staff twice. A story has been given, and a story is required in return. What is your rebuttal, Dragonborn?
I am going to take my time and step forward, and then I will start to tell my fictional story. That's the one I'm doing, isn't it? Yeah. I'm going to tell my fictional story, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw on the stories that Camber and I used to make up.
I love it already.
So it's a story that isn't true, but it's one that I know well, because Camber and I made up the story, and so it's very clearly thought out. And it is the story of siblings, of 2 elf siblings who run away, and they join pirates and travel on the high seas with pirates.
High skies.
Well, high skies. And they travel as pirates, but actually they secretly spend their time taking some of the money that they gain as pirates and giving it to the poor and the people who need it. And the brother and sister become feared all across the lands, the many lands. And they also become loved by the people. And so eventually when they are caught by the authorities, by these terrible, overwhelming authorities that are trying to suppress them and keep them restricted with these rules, the people rise up and break them out and rescue them, and they inadvertently cause a revolution amongst the people because they are so loved for giving back to the people, and the pirates themselves become heroes and symbols of freedom for that nation. And as I tell the story, I am going to try and use just a little bit of prestidigitation while I'm doing it, just to create sort of some sensory effects as I'm doing it. So when I talk about the high seas, I want to create sort of little gusts of wind that look as if we're kind of, the water and the air is moving. And when I talk about sunsets and nights, I'm going to use prestidigitation to kind of create warm red light and then bluish light. And so I'll use just little bits of effect.
Amazing. Given that this is technically a falsehood, I would like you to roll me a deception check.
Okay. Ooh, deception. Unnatural 20.
An unnatural 20. Ooh, okay. What is your charisma modifier, so I know?
+4.
Okay. Awesome. Cool. Thank you very much.
But that's not my deception modifier, yeah?
No, I just wanted your charisma modifier for like.
Yeah, that's cool.
Cool. The second head.
Sorry, just one last thing I did want to say. Before I end that story, I want to make sure that I basically play up this whole idea of the people deserving their own freedom and that they should never be controlled or subjected to domination by others.
Nice subtext. I like that.
I just want to kind of play towards the audience.
It's interesting to see whether it will sit with Faye in the same way, but we'll see. The hag turns to you, and there's a kind of like a slightly warm smile as she kind of looks at you. Thus ends the first tales. The second tales should stand. Do you think them true, or do you think them false? That is for you to decide. And she turns back to the Ettin. And the second head, Brali, on the left-hand side. I have a story that you might know, one from very far and long ago, of a giant, a god, a titan. Now, most people know this folk by name. He birthed so many of our kind. Grumish with the one eye. But did you know how cruel and angry he is? How spiteful and twisted? Did you know that he made the orcs to spite the elves? Do you know that he pursues a fae through the wilds, into the worlds beyond our own, just for the pleasure of torturing the creature that took his eye? Everywhere he goes, he leads his mad minions. Everywhere he stands, more of the orcs grow. These little giant kin, so far away from the rest of us. Angry, brutal, and vicious. But what you do not know is he may find his way back here this day. For the elves came back, so why wouldn't he? And that's where he ends his story. Again, the hag turns, and this time she looks to Eugene. And I think she senses there's a nervousness. It's funny, like, before she was quite terrifying, and something has softened in her a little bit, almost like grandmotherly, and she just motions you forward.
I think he kind of steps forward awkwardly and like looks around, trying not to look at everyone, but also doesn't know where to look. Okay, I can do this. This is fine. Okay, and Eugene will
You're muted, baby.
You're muted.
I'm just going to say, whisper quietly behind Eugene, just go, you've got this, chin up.
Right. Okay.
Would that be a bardic inspiration?
It would.
Eugene will tell the story of his adventure so far. So he will tell how he grew up in a small village, and how his father is incredibly famous, well-known adventurer, and he will tell them about the pressures of feeling like he is being pushed into a certain destination, and how everyone in their small town, because everyone knows each other in small villages, you know how it is, everyone kind of expected him to be exactly like his father, but Eugene didn't want to be like that. Not that there's anything wrong with being a great, big, strong adventurer. Okay, stick to the point, Eugene. So Eugene found a way to be his own person, and to find his own strength, and that not all strength comes from being physically strong. And with the help of his adventuring friends, he's discovered his inner strength and bravery.
Lovely. Could you roll me a persuasion check? Don't forget you do get advantage because of Rok, and you do get a D8, is it now?
Yeah, it's a D8. Oh, wait, no, let me just check that. Yeah, it's a D8.
If you want it.
21.
Ooh.
Lovely. Interesting. Cool. The hag smiles in that slightly grandmotherly way, and you're fairly certain that her flesh is plumped out a little bit. You're not entirely certain what's going on. And she turns back. A second tale given, a second tale answered. But what of the third? And Braal kind of from the right hand side nods. He says, a child born of man and fae once wandered out her own path one day, seeking a gate she did not know, wondering where she wanted to go, stepping across thresholds, caught by her mother, punished by one she once called her brother. Secretly she awaits aloft. Do you dare save her? That is my question. And sort of lean back, having finished their story, and the hag turns to both of you. Together then, tell us a story.
Very well, we will do so. And I'm going to just say to Eugene, let's make this a bit of a spectacle for them, shall we?
Okay.
And I am going to step forward, and then I'm going to just check with Eugene and say, is it okay if I start?
Oh, please do.
Okay, good. And I am going to I'm going to step forward, and the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to sort of bow my head for just a little bit too long, like the thing you do where people are like, "Oh wait, we're supposed to be quiet." Okay, wait, we'll get quiet. And then I am going to immediately extend my gem flight wings So from my back, these sparkles of emeralds extend in the shape of wings. And as they extend, I'm going to start in Rock's best booming voice and say, I tell you a tale of adventure. I tell you a tale of gods and men, of heroes thrust into a different time, of unsuspecting heroes who would save the world and, dare I say it, perhaps the entire universe. I tell you a tale of an island lost in time, lost in purple mist, an island that appeared when none had been before. And I shall tell you this story because it is true. Or is it? And I shall hand to Eugene. And I am going to, just so you know, Chris, through this, I am going to use my minor illusion. As it's a cantrip, I will use it as often as I can
Yep.
to create visual supports for everything that Eugene talks about, so that there are lights, fireworks, images, mists, whatever we need to talk about. Sparkly dragons, I'm going to do a full-on AV show for him.
Amazing. What part of the story does Eugene do?
I think Eugene will tell the background part, so the parts of the story about the three gods, like all kind of locked into this like fate with each other, and sort of lay the background information for Rock to kind of finish it off.
Amazing. Rock, bring it on home.
I will try and finish it up, but I'm going to drag Eugene in, like at various points for the last bit, so that we're kind of bouncing off each other, and it's going to build up to this massive battle, and I'm going to like make a huge thing about the bravery of this young man who threw himself off a flying dragon, soared through the air, nearly plummeting to his death before being saved by one of his companions. And I'll make the whole thing very dramatic and over the top, and then I shall wait and say, that young man could even have been young Eugene. Perhaps it was. And then I'll go back straight into like how basically we all saved the world, bouncing with Eugene about the actual Fey god, etc., and using everything I have with minor illusion.
Amazing. This is going to be a group check. You both have advantage because of something. But one, Eugene has a spell, and Rock, that was very cool. So,
what are we trying? Performance?
It's up to you guys. Are you trying to deceive them or persuade them?
Well, we're not trying to deceive them, are we? Because aren't we telling the truth now?
It is true, but I am trying to perform to the point that it feels like a performance rather than a true story.
All right, I will allow performance, in which case I'll allow that. If that's not as good for Eugene, you can choose. It's about the same.
All the same. But I rolled well, so that's fine.
Cool.
Okay, okay. Performance. Okay, 21.
Nice.
I got an 18.
An 18. Cool. So it works out roughly. So, the silence falls upon the room, and actually there's a couple of coughs, and then somebody actually starts applauding very enthusiastically. And it kind of ripples around the room. And you can see that the Ettin is actually annoyed by this. This is his room, and how dare you kind of show him up. But he is bound. He kind of see him sort of twitch as if trying to figure a way around it. But the hag just kind of fixes him with this look. And you know that the three of you are bound in this competition, and he can't do anything about it because of the rules of the court. She turns to the two of you. Guests first. Of those stories, one was true, one was false. Sorry, two were true and one was false. One was of someone else and one was of themselves. And one was a complete work of fiction. Do you know which is which?
Any ideas, Eugene?
Yes, I believe that Bovi was telling the truth about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Brali was telling a fiction, and Braal told the truth of another. But wait, do we have to, I'm getting confused about the rules now. Do we have to guess them all right, or do?
If you guess them all right, they have lost.
Right. Okay, so we do want to guess them all. Right.
Similarly, if they guess all yours, you have lost. And it comes a question: if you both lose, what
Is
do
there
you
a
give up?
tie-break situation?
Oh yes, you must both offer something.
Okay, let's not get to that part. We're not giving up stuff. Chris, with the stories that they told, particularly the one about Grimosh and stuff, would I, with all of the stories that I used to read and all the reading I would do, would I know any of these stories that has truth to it that I would remember from reading?
Make a history check. I think particularly you're thinking about Grimosh.
Yeah. Well, just because that sounds, like it's pulled from history, and I
Just want to make
would
sure.
I know that from my knowledge and my reading?
Yeah.
Not great. History 12.
12. I mean, the orcs. Some orcs do worship a god called Grimosh, and he is known to have one eye. There is something in it that doesn't feel complete. But mythologies are tricky at best of times anyway. Eugene, you can also make a history check on that if you want to as well.
Yeah.
If you're particularly interested.
Oh, that's not good. Never mind.
Nope.
I haven't read that one.
Nope. I mean, it's deities and divinity.
Not that
It's not
interested.
exactly, Eugene's bag.
But they did say that he was the sly one.
They
So
did.
I feel like he would be the most inclined to lie.
Yes, I do.
And Bovi is boastful, so obviously he's going to tell a story about himself.
Yeah, and I kind of just got the feeling that was true. And then Braal, they said was clever.
Yeah, I feel like he was trying to confuse us with all that rhyming stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are these
It was
your
it's all a bit vague. Yes, I will trust in Eugene and my intuition, and we shall go with those three.
Those are our final answers.
She turns and she goes, "And what of our host? What truths did you discern?" The first story was a fiction. The second story was about another. And the third story was about themselves. You can see that there's kind of like a bit of a kind of conversation between them. And you are sticking to this answer. Yes. She reaches inside her coat and pulls out a gem and fixes it to a little piece of wood and kind of taps it against her staff. For our mortal as guests, 1, it brights. First one right. Second one right. Third one right. For the master of this hall, who holds all these mortals need. First one right. Second one, and the gem doesn't shine. Wrong. Third one. Wrong. My Fae of good and ill intent, my masters of shadow and dawn, we have a clear winner this day.
I will grab Eugene's hand very quickly and do a whole proper full bow thing.
And there is a raucous applause that kind of ripples around, and whooping and like cheering as you kind of all look around. And the lights seem to sort of come up again, and you can see that there are faces all over the place, and that's perfect timing because a Charlie has joined the chat.
Hi.
The hag turns to the Ettin and holds up one of her long fingers, and says, "The deal is true. You must return their friend and the daughter of the queen of this realm." He grumbles and he reaches out that one hand, picks that cage up, and plants it on the floor in front of you. Smacks it on the top, and it pops open. And inside, you can see this slightly more humanoid with it's fiery red hair, but it's not on fire like her mother's. Very red-skinned, with slight sort of twig-like horns just coming out of her hair in different places. And she's currently kind of just sort of scowling at the Ettin, and of course your very own satyr, who's looking very confused right now, Aisling.
I'm going to, as I still have my wings out, I'm going to swoop towards them and very quickly kind of try and bring them back to where we are, get them sort of just out of the clutches of the Ettin.
A deal is a deal, but I would have a small favour from you small people.
God, everyone wants a favour, don't they?
I mean, as I'm sure you are aware, favours cost.
All right, then. And he kind of reaches beneath his seat and pulls out what looks like a small horn. I will give you this mystical item, which I cannot use, but you probably can. In return, you tell Her Highness up on the hill there, the court that I have built, and how much fun we had here tonight.
I mean, I'm sure we can relay that information. And what exactly does that artifact do?
Agreement.
Well, yes, once I know, then we'll agree.
The hag just kind of sighs and just kind of goes up and grabs it off of him, and she kind of looks it over and she goes, "Ha! On your person, when you enter an oration after tooting on this horn, you will find it easier to persuade those around you."
Well, I'm sure that would be most useful for us should we ever need to persuade anyone of anything.
For your, mechanically speaking, it's a +1 focus for bards.
Oh. Well, I didn't know such a thing existed. Well, I'm sure we can relay the stories of your impressive court to Granny Driftwood.
Then
Sure.
we part as friends. And he kind of pops it, takes it from the hag and puts it in your hand, and not enemies. Good storytelling, both of you.
Sure. Yeah, we're friends. I mean, you did it very well with your storytelling. Also, we were on the edge of our seats. We really were. And then I'm going to turn around and roll my eyes at the audience.
The hag kind of just very quietly places a hand on whoever's closest to her and just...
Eugene, definitely Eugene.
I would make you leave before he gets hungry.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Let's go.
Oh,
Sorry, just to quick check in, Chris. The Granny Driftwood's daughter was Elise.
Elise, and she's actually standing right next to Aisling right now. Probably
They bonded behind bars.
I don't know how to live on the outside anymore.
Yeah, they're prison buddies now. They've seen some shit.
I've got tattoos. I'm a whole different person.
Yeah. We'll talk about that later.
Wait.
Right, well, we should probably be on our way then. Aisling, Elise, I'm terribly sorry. I'm Rok, this is Aisling. I think you two admit. This is Eugene. We should probably go. Your mother sent us. We're going now. Let's go.
So the four of you leave, and as soon as you're outside, Elise, like, that whole scowl and demeanor, like, she just sinks into herself, and she's just, like, trying to not sound like... She's crying into her hands, but she's trying not to let anyone hear her.
Oh, no, it's okay. You're okay now. We'll have a little sit down in a minute, but let's get as far away from them as we can. I don't think you want to be near them. Don't worry. We will keep you safe. I promise. Do come along.
I've been in there. I've been in there a month, and I thought they were good. It's only his fear of my mother that stopped him from killing me.
I mean, she is rather terrifying, but a month? I'm not surprised you're upset. I mean, the smell was terrible in there. Let's come.
Hey.
I'm not talking about you.
Okay.
Can you? Would you like some water, or perhaps something?
I thank you. You don't even know me, and you came to save me, and I'm assuming it's because my mother has something over you, but I thank you nonetheless.
Oh, it was just a favours exchange thing. It's all the rage in Fey realms, apparently. And of course, obviously, Aisling threw herself up into the cage to help you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Courageously.
Very brave. Very, very brave.
Bravely kidnapped against her will. Very brave.
Again.
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure no one else can hear and just say to Aisling, "Can you stop getting yourself kidnapped and taken off?"
It's not on purpose, Rok.
For sake, I mean, the alleyway wasn't bad enough. Now, anyway, let's get back to the charming Granny Driftwood.
Where can I kidnap Aisling next?
No.
In an alleyway.
I need to stop having stuff to do, then I can guard Aisling. If I leave you alone for 5 minutes, she gets kidnapped.
You can make your way back. It's very easy. The same layout for this side of the Twilight Court it is for the one the town that you were getting to know. So you very quickly make your way up, and at the base of the tower, Bick and Bosch are waiting, and they grin happily. Well, they brought back the lovely Elise. Bick. Yes, they did, Bosch. Welcome back, Princess. Are you okay? She kind of nods, and she actually sprints the last 100 meters and throws herself into a hug with the two of them.
Oh.
She seems much nicer than her mother, doesn't she?
I mean, she's a lot more chill.
Make an insight check, the three of you.
Ooh.
Nope. 10.
16.
16. Aisling, you're kind of looking her over, and you suddenly realise she's at least half mortal.
Ooh.
So she is very different to her mother.
Okay, I'll sort of nudge pals then and be like, I think her chill half comes from her mortal half, if you can tell.
I mean, that would make sense now that you pointed out, yes.
She's chatting away in Sylvan to the two bugbears, and they kind of... there is a big brotherly sort of, if we were allowed to, we would have marched in there sort of thing with these two. You can get the impression that they have a deep fondness for this girl. Say girl, was she probably in her mid to late 20s?
He's all grown up.
Right, well, shall we get you up to your mother, if you're ready?
I suppose I must. Not particularly looking forward to seeing her, but okay.
What? Wait, why?
Well, I mean, you guessed all three of the stories, and so you must know the last story was me. I was trying to run away. I wasn't there. I was trying to win a key so that I could find my way to the light side of...
Oh, that was about you! Oh.
Well, I mean, have you ever mentioned this to your mum?
I mean, you met my mum. Do you have any idea how difficult it is to talk to her about things?
Yeah.
I mean, she
Would
doesn't
it help
strike
if
me as the
we-
touchy-feely kind of sort of person.
What if we I don't know, not kidnapped you and stole you over to the light side, but what if we don't worry, Rock, don't worry.
Rock's giving Aisling that what the fuck are you talking about?
Don't worry about it.
Ashley's got kidnapped twice. Now it's her turn.
Now I must kidnap someone else. What if, I mean, would we have any sway if we tried to talk to your mum as well?
I mean, if you could, I would owe you a favour, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, perhaps we could say that we could do with your help. Maybe.
What are you doing?
Honestly, I have no idea sometimes. But
Well, we're about 3 quests deep in a chain of quests.
all I know is a lot of it has to do with fetching things.
Would you like my fan for that shade, Theo?
Oh! The worst.
But I mean, we could perhaps ask if you could, come and spend a little time helping us with some things. I don't know what would convince her to let you to come with us.
Yeah, what would work? You know her.
Well, I mean, I really want to just go and find my father, but if you guys have a mission that's of importance to her realm as much as your realm, then she might let me come and help you, even if it's just like support or something.
I mean, we actually do, so it wouldn't be sort of a stretch to say that we could do with that help.
And you'd be happy taking me with you. I mean, you don't really know me. You don't even know if I'm good or not.
I do. You're
Well, I mean, I'm not saying you have to move in with us, but I'm saying we could probably, get your mother to at least be a little more amenable to you sort of leaving the house kind of thing.
Well, if you can do that, whatever is within my power to do, I will help you succeed in your quest.
Well, I
This
think
sounds
we could do with the allies. So,
Yeah.
Sure, we'll speak to your terrifying mother.
And you guys make your way you kind of made your way to the top of the tower by this point. Bick and Bosch are kind of very close behind you, and they're kind of nodding at the whole sort of get her out of here things.
I mean, I'm just going to say to these two, I mean, it's a good thing Skia wasn't here. She would have just knifed her on the spot, to be honest.
I think he's talking about someone we don't know there, Bick. I'm very well aware of that, Bosch. You guys, the Bick and Bosch open the door in the same way, and you're greeted again by the inside of this strange tower, this kind of autumn feeling version of the tower from before. The makeup of the people in the tower has changed, but it's a similar sort of thing. Now there is a long red-scaled dragonborn draped over one arm, draped over the chaiselonge that you saw an elf before. There are some dragonfly-winged fairies that kind of flitting between different places, but have very sharp features. There's something that looks like a slightly emaciated elf like very sort of sallow grey skin, wearing like this mask with a single eye across it, kind of like leaning and watching you like this as you come in. And at the top of it is Driftwood Morrigu, the hag that rules this realm.
I'm just going to say to Aisling, some of these people remind me of those little fairies that tried to eat us in the night. Do you remember the little... Yeah, I can see where they come from now.
Kind of vibe about them.
Totally. Anyway, hi!
Oh, they've returned. How wonderful. She, and the throne lowers to the ground. Well. Elise, my love. Turn around, let Mother see you. Make sure that he hasn't eaten anything vital. And Elise kind of like goes through the motion of turning and like goes, oh, he kept you in good stead. Oh, that's wonderful. I won't have to kill him. Let's see now. What did you want again? I can't remember.
Well,
memories of
yes.
our friend Aaron Bricksmith.
Do you remember, Aaron, whose memories you took? That would be great.
Yes, she did. She kind of turns to the masked creature and she goes, "Get me the memory gem. It was more of an amusement than anything. Yes."
Just as a kind of general thing, the three-headed guy that you sent us to.
Yes. Awful, awful fellow, really terrible.
He was.
Yeah.
Really, not my favourite that I've met. He did seem quite keen on us letting you know that he's sort of set up his whole own little court over there. So I just thought you should know because he wanted you to know, and there you go. Now you know.
She kind of leans back and she shouts after the person, I suppose you could send a scout down to see what he's built and see if it's worth our attention. Anything else? And you want the gem? You brought my daughter back.
Well, there is something. We are on a mission at the moment that could be of great import to all the realms. And I can see that the court you have built here is quite important to you and is quite majestic. And so we thought it might be in your interest to perhaps afford us a little help in this quest as we go forward. I mean, nothing that will inconvenience you, I feel, which is part of the problem. But yes, I mean, Eugene, would you mind sort of filling in a little about how important this quest is? And
Well, very important, very perilous, very important. Did I say important?
Like a life or death situation.
For everyone, I mean, not just on the mortal side.
This is
like
the kind of the thing. Sorry. Most animated you see it, she actually kind of leans, she's just kind of been this whole sort of slightly abstractly bored, and she kind of fixes all of you with these flamey, like these deep burning red eyes, and this wicked grin. She goes, "Oh, a deal. Oh, I do it. It does sound like you're in something of a pickle. And what manner of danger to my court might this be?"
Well, the complete destruction of your court.
Yeah, it would kind of get smashed up.
Who is audacious enough to attack a court like this?
Several very powerful AL.
I don't think you need to roll an insight check. Her face drops immediately. Any pretenses of I have control of this, my emotions here. Abject fear creeps into her expression.
Oh, that's not a good sign.
We don't speak their names, little one. Do you understand?
Yes,
Oh.
sorry.
It's best to refer to them as those that came before.
Right.
I will forgive your indiscretion because you don't know and you are young. But those creatures are as big a threat to my kind as they are to yours.
Well,
Right,
this is what
yes,
I'm
kind of.
trying to tell you.
I mean, do forgive us. We've not made this journey to here before, so I apologies if we spoke out of turn. We just thought it was important that you know, as we're now on good standing.
What would you need?
Well, we were thinking just a little help, perhaps almost an emissary from here that could spend some time with us and also support us. I mean, just off the top of my head, perhaps somebody like Elise, who's someone who could just come with us for a little while and perhaps visit.
Again, the
Yeah.
shift of
Get some
emotion.
new stories.
The shift of emotion, and she bursts out laughing. This big, joyous, laugh that kind of fills the room. It's not a cackle, but there is something cold about it. She wipes a tear from her eyes and looks down. Oh, my daughter! Oh, how clever! Oh, there's hope for you yet. Oh, very good. Oh, I like this. Yes. Very well. Elise may join you on the side of light, but there is a gears here. She may only remain and follow her own interest as long as you are safe. If she
Whoa.
fails to support you three, she will return here.
So do we have to all three be safe at the same time? Because Aisling has a habit of
Yeah.
getting kidnapped, and it's so
I
I'm just a little
mean,
fuzzy on the
all
rules
right,
here.
the three of you are still alive.
Good, so
Oh,
as
I
long
mean,
as we're
that's kind of
alive-
our plan as well. So
Again, just checking if one of us happened to die for a short period, perhaps.
Yeah,
would
but then
that-
we were revived.
You
so
know,
to
things
speak.
like this
Yeah.
happen. Just
Fae are very aware of how those magics work. It would cover that particularly. I am very
Right,
impressed that you are thinking this level into your contract with me. So, Elise,
well, it was more of just a kind of casual favour than a contract, to be honest. But
yeah.
do you promise to support these three in their endeavours to protect my kingdom? She nods. Do you promise to keep them alive as much as if in your power to do so? She nods. Do you understand that should they die before they complete their tasks, you will return and the contract shall be null? And she nods a third time. Why, then we have an agreement. All three of you feel like this icy tingle through your bodies, and you all have an immediate understanding that she did something that bonds you to Elise.
Okay.
what could go wrong?
Absolutely nothing. It's gonna
I
be
mean,
fine.
I can just try and whisper to Aisling and Eugene without anyone hearing, and just go, well, at least we know she can't kill us in our sleep if she wants to stay out there.
That's very true.
That's
a very
true.
good point.
But yeah,
I mean, we have
I
just
don't think
met her.
she's gonna do that, is she?
I don't think so, but I mean...
I mean, it'd be very stupid of me to do it right now.
Oh, good God, you're right here. I mean, it's just we don't know. Anyway, we can chat about this on the way home. That's all fine.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Also, the memories, those are... How
Oh
does that
yes, she slipped my mind. Ironic. She pulls
Isn't it?
that strange person has kind of come back again with that wooden mask, and he holding a velvet pillow with a single white crystal on it. And she reaches over and she puts it forward. And who wants to take it?
Eugene will take it.
Okay, look, I would like you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh God.
Oopsie. I'm not the best person.
Wait, hang on. How long does
15.
50. You gave her. You gave them
charisma in the
charisma.
end? Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry.
charisma, not
Um,
wisdom.
so you, 15. You feel another presence pushing in on your mind for a second, and then it kind of
Right.
seeps away. However, so you know, although you passed, if
God.
Aaron mechanically has advantage on persuasion checks against you for the next 24 hours.
Okay.
So don't try and persuade Aaron to do anything dumb.
Yeah. Or if they persuade Eugene to do something dumb, then Eugene's more likely to do it.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
It's for when you meet Aaron, like it's not like a charm spell. It's more like they're very agreeable. You just understand them. Like you get their point of view very easily.
It's like you're drunk and they're suddenly your best friend.
Yeah, without the drunkenness.
Yep.
I mean,
Now-
Eugene's pretty easily persuaded, to be honest.
Now, is there anything else I can do for you? Any traits or skills or
No,
magics I
no.
can
No.
perform?
No,
No,
I think we're
no,
good.
no.
I think we'll just.
Ashling's like
yeah,
ushering us out at this point.
Let's,
Just like,
let's
nope.
just. Oh wait, unless no, never mind. It's alright. Don't worry.
I mean,
No,
I can
no.
teach you how to speak any language you want to see
Don't
from
listen.
miles away.
no,
Don't
you-
la 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 la.
Eugene,
Don't listen,
move.
Rok.
Keep moving.
Lit- little
go,
dragon
go,
Teach me
ball.
how to, like, speed read.
Eugene,
No,
keep
no,
moving.
Eugene.
Why,
So I
yes.
can
Bye,
take in any
bye.
book in seconds.
La la la.
Bye
la,
now.
la,
Get
la. I'm
get
gonna
some
cover
therapy.
Eugene's
Get
ears.
some
La, la,
attachment
la, la,
therapy.
la.
Bye 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 bye.
I could do that for you if you wanted.
Bye. Bye.
Go.
Oh, you're no fun. Get out my court and get out of my
I'm
realm.
trying to.
And do take care of her. She is
That's the
the
plan.
only daughter I have right now.
As soon as we're out of her earshot, I'm going to say, well, perhaps you shouldn't have let her get kidnapped then.
Maybe you should go into therapy then.
You make your way down, and they're going to get to the bottom, and Bish and Bosch kind of stop, and then they start saying something to each other in Goblin, and then Bish starts crying, and then hugs his brother, and Bosch just squeezes him very tight, and then they kind of press their heads together. And then Bosch turns, I shall be accompanying you to make sure that the young princess is safe.
I shall take out a handkerchief and give it to the one that was crying.
Yeah. Bish takes it, blows his nose noisily and snottily, and then offers it back.
No, please keep it. Please keep it. I've got loads. Yes. Sorry, we didn't mean to upset you by helping.
No, it was always going to be like this. I'm so proud. Elise gives him a big hug, and she goes, "Oh, hang on a second," and she just disappears off for a second. And she comes back, and she's got like a bag that looks very much like your bag of holding.
Aha.
Wrapped around her shoulders. She goes, "Right, I have to come with you. I can't make my own way to the light side. You need to guide me through."
Yeah, that's no
All
problem.
right.
We're going there.
And the five of you, make your way back through your caravan into the Fey Enclave that you came to first. And very little time has passed on that side. It is still the early parts of twilight.
Thank God. I thought it was going to be another 6 months.
Oh God. Not that again.
Awesome. And I think that's a really good time for us to take a quick break. We are going to disappear for 10 minutes, grab ourselves some drinks, get ourselves some brews, actually say hello to Charlie properly.
Hi.
Please make sure you do so. Keep yourself hydrated. It's very warm in the UK at the moment.
Yeah.
And we will see you at 22. And we are back. I hope everybody grabbed some water, stretched, and used whatever facilities they required. We did the same. I hope you also saw some of the wonderful people that we are highlighting this month at the moment. I didn't mention it at the top of the break because I think we all just wanted to run to the loo. We are still wrapping up our Pride Doesn't Stop campaign. We are going to carry on highlighting queer creatives and people within the TTRPG space who we just think are wonderful people. So if you do know someone and you think, hey, some other heroes, why haven't you highlighted this wonderful person who we think the world of? Do drop us a DM. They are open on Twitter. Just let us know who they are. We'll check them out and we'll try and make sure that we include them in the future. That said, let's get on to our own geeky queer dungeoneering. So, before the break, our three heroes managed to best and rescue one of their members from a fierce Ettin, who, by using a story competition proposed by the Ettin, who arrogantly thought that they could take on the story crafter that is Rok and the sharp mind that is Eugene. You have just arrived back in the main enclave with your two new friends, with Bosch and Alice in tow. So, wow, it's you can see she's squinting, as is Bosch a little bit. It's much brighter and louder than I thought it was going to be.
You kind of get used to it. I mean, to be fair, the Enclave is quite loud and lots happening. There's a lot happening here. It's not always like that everywhere, but yes, I mean, it's a little brighter than where you're used to.
Well, the other side of Twilight, I guess, is always darker.
That would make sense, I suppose. Yes.
Right. Well,
but yeah, welcome.
all right. Well, I suppose I better stay with you until I find myself something to do.
Probably best we also let them know you're with us to start with. I just in case. I'm not sure they're terribly fond of us bringing people back from the dark side, so to speak.
Yes, Rooney, I agree. I was just about to say.
Ashley, offer her some bread.
Are you hungry? Because I've got like a disgraceful amount of carbs in the bag right now.
I really, really could eat, actually. Like, Ettin's not great hosts, gotta say.
Well, we've got popping candy ones, we've got cheesy ones, we've got spicy ones, we've got like chocolate ones, we've got like tons of
bread.
Choose one. They're all good.
She's talking about bread.
Oh,
yes,
okay. I mean,
Thanks,
whatever you think is best. And
don't make her choose. Don't. No, oh God.
The popping one. It's obviously the popping candy one.
Do you give her a piece of the popping candy bread?
I do, and then I do a quick caveat where it's like, okay, it's gonna make your mouth do like something weird. And I give it to her.
She pulls off a bit and she pops it in her mouth, and there's a sort of like shock, and then that weird I don't know what's happening, and then like mild joy, and then she starts doing the thing that all people do. She starts opening her mouth and closing it, and she is very happy sharing.
Isn't it great?
And she starts pushing some into Bosch's mouth as well. It's like, I'm supposed to be your guard. Oh, for goodness sake.
Well, don't be ridiculous. Yes, guards have to eat as well. Eat, yeah. And I'm going to give him the sour sweet and say, here, this is for afterwards. You can have that.
The super, super sour one.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, no.
Oh. Constitution saved.
Yeah. Are you guys making your way back to Auntie Needles?
Yeah.
I feel like we should give her a heads up. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we need to get directly to her.
You find, I mean, obviously you've come back out into the area, and that same Herringon was like kind of looks up and waves and just kind of carries on with her job. You're not entirely certain what she's sweeping. Like, she just seems to be sweeping for the fun of it.
Okay.
Jobs.
You find
Maybe
yourself
she sheds and she's self-conscious about it.
just walking backwards like this.
Yeah.
It's the season. Can't do anything about it.
Oh!
You find yourself at the base of the stairs, and Bosch kind of snorts to where's your guards? I mean, were you? And you kind of step on and you do that thing, that motion, like where you're aware you're walking a long distance, but you're also there. Suddenly, he's like, oh no, that's weird. I don't like that.
Oh, you'll get used to it.
Yeah.
Also, there are guards. You just can't see them. They're very sneaky and hidden.
Voice is how.
Remember, they're here to protect us all now because we're here. So you don't have to. Don't point sharp things at people here.
Elise just kind of gently pulls his hand and says, "It's all right. We're guests here, so we have to be polite and follow the rules and listen to our friends." And he kind of nods, like stoically nods, and then just kind of steps in line behind the rest of you. You are in front of the same door, and there is the same little milky-skinned goblin with her droopy ears, just kind of looking out over the town. And she smiles. "Oh, you came back? Oh, and you brought friends. That's nice. Shall I let you in?"
I know what this goblin sounds like now. This is salad fingers as a goblin.
Oh, she's much
No,
sweeter
don't
than
ruin
that. No, she's much sweeter than that.
But
Oh
she
my God.
sounds like it.
Okay, that's on me. That's not her fault.
Yeah.
She gets off her stool, which is nearly as tall as she is, and she kind of like twists the handles and pushes them in, and kind of like shuffles in with you lot behind her. And you find yourself in the place that you did before, with all the drapes and the spring colours. And presently, you can see Auntie Needles and Mallory both sitting at a long table that has been set up. And they have cards in their hands. And next to them is a pretty herringham lady in like a yellow frilly dress. And a human woman who you don't recognise, but it's quite. She's wearing like leathers, like slightly protective leathers, but not armour. She's got quite a healthy, hefty build to her. It looks like somebody who basically works physically for a living. And they all look up as you enter the room. Oh, and Aren is kind of sipping a cup of tea. And looking very confused at the cards that are in front of her. She kind of just. So hang on.
This is me playing any card game ever.
And she's kind of launching into this sort of like, so if I have 3 of these but 2 of those, then that's a good thing. But if you have 4 of the other, then that's a. And Auntie Needles is kind of nodding along, and she goes, "You have no idea how to play this, do you?" "Absolutely no clue, sorry." Hang on a second, Rock. You don't interrupt a hand.
I'm just going to very, very outwardly just say, "Oh, I know. I was just trying to save Owen the problems."
Mallory kind of lays down her cards. She goes, and Auntie Needles looks over again. So does everybody else. "And I win again. It's almost like you're cheating." "I just asked the cards to help me," she said. And she gets up and drifts over. She goes, "Oh, you bought a friend."
Oh, I must remember that one. If I'm caught cheating, I asked the cards to help me. That's all.
"Hello, you're very pretty and very. Oh, that's going to be interesting. Well, I should leave you all to it. Lovely seeing you all. You all look none the worse for wear, which is good." And she drifts behind one of the drapes and is gone. in that way.
Rock probably very sort of subtly, as she says bye, you all look very good, kind of yells out something like, "You look really beautiful!"
Yeah, she smiles and nods and kind of acknowledges it, and before she
Damn it,
disappears.
she's very
That was
intimidating.
so smooth, Rock.
Oh, shut up, or I'll kidnap you myself.
That's oh wow, that's a proper archfey, isn't it?
Yes, she's quite intimidating, to be honest.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes, we hope you don't mind. We've brought some guests.
Auntie Needles just kind of she's patting the other she's patting Aaron on the shoulder. So how did it go? I do see you brought a guest. You look familiar. I'm Elise. I am the daughter of Driftwood Morrigu. Oh, that is interesting. Okay, you three have a story to tell. I shall get us some tea.
I think we've told enough stories.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm a little storied out, to be honest, but I never thought I'd say that either.
But she does. She kind of sits you all down, gets some nice tea and some food, because you actually haven't properly eaten other than stuffing your face with bread and candy.
That's food.
Yeah, what's your point?
I'm
going to ask her for a little bit of wine.
Manages to sort it out like an ordinary wine as well. She's very aware of the fact that Fey wine has a very strange effect on some mortals.
Oh, yeah.
Well, now I want to see Rock on Fey wine.
She.
Oh.
Yeah.
Don't let me get anywhere near her eyes.
I mean, that's just a disaster relationship waiting to happen anyway, to be fair. But
anyway,
I guess you guys explain what happened, how it all went, and Auntie Needles listens intently, and she waits to finishes and goes, well, Elise obviously can't follow you everywhere you're going, but if you want, I can contact your uncle, Eugene, and make sure she's set up and able to assist and do some research or something with whilst you are out on your adventures.
Does she have a room in the house?
I mean, I don't see why not.
If you want her there, of course, she can stay with us if she needs to. It's no problem. You are an ally of ours, and you are doing something that serves everybody. After all, we are happy to put her up.
Don't mean to be funny, but can we ask her what she'd like to do, where she'd like to stay?
Oh, yeah. That's a good point.
Well, if you three don't mind me setting up shop in your home, it'd be easier to find information about my father there.
And then you could like nip back and forth from here as well, because there's some mad stuff going on with the bedrooms back there.
That's not.
That's how it works, right?
No.
Oh.
Sorry. I just made temporary doors into Eugene's home for a while.
Oh, so we can't just come back here through the bedrooms.
If you notice, the door that you used to go out is the one you used to come back in. So you can only use one door one way, unfortunately.
Why do you have to make things so complicated?
Oh, well, we didn't. It was... I mean, you've met what we're like when it's not complicated.
I need a diagram.
What?
The AL. I don't suppose anyone's really explained this. I don't think many of the Elder Fae talk about this, to be fair.
Oh, I'm just going to quickly just sort of put a hand out to Elise and just go, apparently here we speak outwardly about the AL. I believe that wasn't done where you're from, so don't freak out.
She goes, I think that was more Mum being afraid.
Oh, that's good to know she's afraid of something.
Whereas we've had to have an outward conversation about it already, so we are having to accept that they're back. But yes, the AL are what happened before the Fae became Fae. The AL don't have rules or regulation or guides or restrictions. And that is why they are dangerous. They are pure, wild magic and chaos.
I'm just going to whisper to Aisling, what does that have to do with the bedrooms?
Ashling's desperately trying to keep track of.
Eugene
What?
got it.
I'm just going to nod knowingly at Granny, like I know exactly what she's talking about. Auntie, sorry.
Very important.
It was Granny Driftwood, that's right.
Yeah. Well, Elise, it is entirely up to you. You are welcome here, and I can arrange for you to get back to Cloud's Cairn, and I will contact Tythig to make sure that somebody is able to let him in. And it's also up to you three what you want as well. But you do have a responsibility to each other now.
Yeah.
I'm happy to have her at our house, if that's what Elise wants.
Really, the reason my stories didn't work is because they weren't mine. But I am very good at finding stories and the truth in stories. Maybe that's useful to you?
Well, yes, I'm sure, because, I mean, a lot of the research we've done are basically stories from a long time ago, and some of it's a little vague as to what's real and what's not.
I can help. Then you tell me what you need me to look into and who I can talk to about getting the right stuff, and I'll do background research to help.
Sure.
That'd be amazing.
Excellent. She actually gets outwardly excited. I've got my first job.
Yeah, you can join the research team.
What
And
do
the
you
house
like?
is very cool, and there's a big frog in it, and you're gonna love her.
I love frogs. What, like a bullywug?
Not like a
Yeah.
big, like a good size to sit on your lap, kind of big, and they're all like orange and beautiful, and yeah,
Petting
you're gonna love
frog.
them. Yeah.
What do you like with a knife? Do you fight?
She smiles. She goes, not as good as I am with a cutting word or two, but stories were always more interesting. I can swing a blade, all right. Mostly. But then she kind of
anyone can swing a blade. Stories are much more interesting.
She goes, but then I've always had. And she points to Bosch over her shoulder to kind of do that sort of stuff when he needs to.
Oh yes.
Now you got us.
So, what is Bosch coming to stay also, or?
My duty is to the princess. I will make sure she is protected. And I suppose, by definition, I would be guarding your home.
Oh, nice.
Also, I mean, she's getting sent back if we die, so you should probably make sure we don't.
Right. Yeah. Well, I have to stay with her, because otherwise I can't do stuff out here. That's my contract. But, yeah. I will happily defend your lives when I'm with you.
Cool.
That's
Thank
comforting
you.
to have another person helping keep our backs safe. Watch our backs. That's the expression.
It's been a long day, Rock.
It really has.
Yeah. It's almost like 2 episodes worth.
I know. I've been telling stories for hours, and my feet are killing me.
And she needs to. Right. Well, I suppose who has the memories?
Oh, Eugene takes his hat off and reaches inside.
Haven't seen Eugene disappears all the way up to the
Yeah.
shoulders.
So cool.
Sorry, it's in here somewhere. And he kind of roots around a bit and finds it.
Aaron's kind of been sitting like very, very quietly taking a lot of this in, but you can see now she's very eager to kind of have.
She's probably just like, shut up, come on.
But my memories.
Yeah.
You got my memories though, right?
She's just sitting there like, no, you lot just have a good old chat. Want to talk about the weather? Go ahead, no problem. I'll just sit here with my memories missing. It's good, it's fine. Don't worry about me.
Just light brain damage, don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. So how does this? Good question. As you kind of pull the crystal out, what does this affinity to Aaron feel like?
I think Eugene kind of feels like I think it kind of feels to him similar to the connection he has with his twin sister.
Nice,
so it's like they have an understanding of each other, an unspoken understanding of each other. So he feels it's similar to the connection he has with his sister.
Nice. Archie Needles kind of asks you to pop it on the table. Crystal, your mother is a classic in some regards, and then she hasn't moved on from some things in others. Crystals, so easily found, always precious too. People steal these. Right, young Aaron, I would like you to place your hand on this, and I would like you to concentrate on yourself. If anybody has anything that they think they can do to help this young lady get her memories back, that would be better.
Oh,
I've been told I'm not good at helping people concentrate, so I'm not.
That's a fair point. I'm just going to kind of very awkwardly kind of go, go, Aaron? And I shall bardically inspire them.
Amazing.
Go get him, champ!
She kind of looks confused for a second.
As soon as she looks confused at Rock, he's just going to go, oh, shut up, just do what you're supposed to.
So she rolled a 25.
Yo.
With your inspiration. You watch as the crystal starts to dissolve into like little kind of motes of light that kind of, and each time they do, there's like a little flash in her eyes until she kind of she almost falls off her chair, and Auntie Needles just puts out a hand that, considering how frail and small she is, steadies her very easily and very quickly.
Aisling, look, she had popping candy in the brain.
Shut up, I'm trying to be quiet.
Ah, dear. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Oh, right, that was really important. Oh. Wow. Okay, so...
You okay?
Yeah, Sidoric closed down the mines because they believe people are stealing gems again, and they told me, they let me know that they are willing to talk to people they trust, but they don't want to talk to the miners who they think are doing it at the moment, and they don't trust the Fae because their memories are longer than everybody else's. But and there was a big white one, friendly.
Looked a bit like a ghost.
Yeah, didn't get their name, but they were.
Oh, that's his name, Ghost.
Oh, they were trying to calm things down, and the reason I think there's someone who can show us how to get in. I can't remember the path myself because it was really twisty and turny, but there was somebody who showed me in. And I think I know where to find them.
Amazing.
And I think, they in disguise, but they're hiding in the miners' camp. And I figured it out. Oh, Rock, I think I remember everything now. It's a little hazy around the edges, but I think I can guide us to them or where I last saw them, and then we can make our way in.
Oh, that sounds good.
And I'm sure Ghost will talk to Eugene. I mean, they know each other from way back, and so I'm sure that will be great if we can find them.
Well, if Ghost will vouch for Eugene, maybe Eugene can talk to the Cresoric on our behalf and find out what's happening. And not to put more on you, poor souls, but if you can find out who is stealing these gems, we can put a stop to it.
I mean, yeah, we'll add it to the list.
Rok's pulling out a notepad with a to-do list on. Goes, find out who's stealing gems. Okay, got it. It's number 9.
Sorry, it's all very complicated, I know, but they say they won't talk to us and they won't talk to the miners. Perhaps they will talk to you. And that is a hope. There's hope for you. It's a hope for the continued trade of Cloud's Cairn. Because without those crystals that they're mined there, we can't carry on our airship.
Wait, so you're all reliant on those crystals for the
Not
airship travel?
Completely, but most of the mineral wealth that comes out of them and a lot of the trade is the aether crystals that the Crythoric allowed us to mine and use.
What is your supply like now? Like, is this mega urgent?
If this goes on for another month or so, we will start seeing problems.
Oh, wow, that imminent.
That's not very
great.
long. Okay.
It doesn't take a lot of aether crystal to keep a ship afloat, but we only mine what we need, so we don't have a lot of back supply because we don't want to threaten the delicate peace.
Okay.
Just as a general question, Auntie, do you know who would benefit from stealing their crystals, or why would anyone want to do that? It doesn't seem to serve any purpose.
Well, it does make it very interesting because they need to get them off the island. So there's two thoughts that spring to mind. Either to disrupt our trade and our relationship with our neighbours, or to use our supplies to fund or fuel something of their own. I mean, I can't speak for mortals, but I know that my kind have no particular interest other than protecting the Enclave. They don't really care about material wealth in the same way. I am disinclined to think it is someone from the Enclave, but I could be wrong. It could be miners trying to strike it rich, in which case you could probably talk to them and get a sense of their personality and what they're like. But Ulf's hand-picked crew, and Ulf I trust. Emphatically, he's very good at his job.
Well, also, the mines have now been shut down, so that doesn't serve the miners.
No, they've literally been sitting getting drunk all day.
So it kind of serves them a little, yes. But I mean, in the long term, it
Not
doesn't.
in the long run.
But eventually they will not be paid.
Well, yes.
Yeah, that's where the issue is.
So we're kind of already narrowing it down to somebody trying to get money to fund something, perhaps. Or wealth, rather. Or disrupt your agreement with the Sidorics, which I also don't know who would benefit from that. But
No.
I think we'd have to go back to that wall with the red string.
Yeah.
Anyway, you've had a long day. If you want to rest, your rooms are still available to you. I am going to retire and spend the rest of the evening with my wife. If you need anything, and she kind of waves her finger and there's a little pedestal appears, like a poof, purple smoke with a little tiny crystal bell on top of it. If you ring that, one of the butlers will be able to help you.
One of. Okay.
Oh, yes. I'll tell you about that another time. It's funny. She kind of gets down and she gives you all a little kiss. Like a proper auntie, including the bugbear who looks incredibly embarrassed by the whole thing. And Elise, who she says, "Welcome to the best part of your future self." And she wanders off.
She's terribly cheerful, isn't she?
Oh, I better follow her actually because I need somewhere to stay.
Oh yes. Maybe there's a guest room.
Yeah, maybe. And she
I would say you can stay in mine, but the only other surface is like pond based. So
she chuckles. I'm okay.
okay,
I think yeah, I've had enough of damp and not really fit for sleeping in environs for a while.
that's fair.
Rock's going to reach over and ring the bell.
It takes probably a minute or two, and then this very upright, very well dressed troll wanders in, and kind of looks down and goes, "You rang."
Yes,
Sorry, I was going to say, is he like the fantasy version of the Tomb Raider butler? Because that's exactly what I'm picturing.
No, I mean he's still a troll. He's still big and he looks strong, and but kind of looks very uncomfortable in his garb actually.
Yes, I was just wondering if you knew if there was a spare room for young Elise to stay in.
I shall endeavour to make sure that is available. If the young lady would like to follow me, and he kind of starts moving through through one of the drapes, and he just gets up quickly and goes, "Right, well, I will see you tomorrow, I guess.
Indeed. Sleep well.
Sleep well."
Night.
But Bosch gives a big bow and follows after her.
Ooh.
Rock will give a deeper bow.
Yep, and they disappear off. Make a slight insight check on the troll as they are leaving.
Okay.
Ooh.
18.
18.
10.
10, nice.
5.
5. Ashling, I think you pick up that troll is not used to wearing those sorts of clothes and is not used to being that sort of polite and is not a natural born butler. It's almost like he's being forced against his will.
Oh.
Almost like a sort of punishment.
Oh, did a wrong thing.
Oh, I'm going to ring the bell again.
Oh, God's sake.
This time, a small halfling with sharp features kind of wanders into the room. Hello, how can I help?
I wondered if you had any snacks.
I can.
The food variety. Sure, apparently there are different. Anyway, yes, just some snacks we could take to our rooms.
Is there anything in particular that you would require?
We all look to Ashling, I would imagine. Any suggestions?
What kind of weird fey foods? I'm putting you on the spot now, Chris. Think of some weird foods, Chris.
Well, I mean, they have a tendency to eat a lot of. They eat mostly vegetables. A lot of particularly of the summer court or the Unseelie, have a tendency to be vegetarian or vegan. Not strictly speaking, some of them do eat meat and things like that. But
Ashling's vegetarian.
But it's a very different culture when the animal you're catching might have a personality and an intelligence of its own. So they have a tendency to be very quickly about it. Mostly lots of sweet treats, pastries, teas and ales and cheeses and stuff like that. But it's all kind of a little bit more fantastical than the mundane world. So almost like the dreams that the real world's food is based off of.
I think I'm going to ask for a weird type of pie.
Yeah. I think you probably know that there's hopweed pie, which sounds disgusting, but is one of the things that you grew up on. It's a really staple. It's made with like this very thick, kind of meaty feeling leaf, and has a lot of flavour, and it's very, very good for you. But it fills you up without kind of making you feel stuffed, and it's one of the things that you're. The mother of your orphanage used to serve you all.
Okay. Amazing. I will ask for that then.
Oh, can we get some sweet treats and pastries too? I mean, it's
Yeah.
Of course, I'll arrange that to be sent to your rooms.
Yeah, please. Thanks.
great.
And then,
Eugene, any requests?
Oh, I'm happy with whatever.
Great. And some wine. Thanks.
and they wander off. Anything you want is delivered to your rooms. And when you arrive there, and you guys can take a long rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not I think that you guys took any damage through that or anything.
No, just spell slots.
No.
Just emotional damage from getting kidnapped again.
So, the dreams in a Fey enclave are usually a bit stronger and a little firmer than elsewhere. Aisling, you wake up to a voice. Aisling,
Yeah.
I don't like what happened, and I don't want that to happen to us again.
What the whole kidnapping thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd rather not go for 3 on that.
Yes. I have noticed that you're not tapping your full potential, and I might have a suggestion that helps. Now, I can either teach you how to bring a bodyguard to your side, or I can teach you how to move across distances as if you were not in that space.
Oh. I mean, both would help with preventing kidnap situations.
Yes, but you only really have the power to do one right now.
Oh, come on. I'm sure you could do 2.
The great alabaster.
Yeah. I think maybe the moving one
Okay.
would be good.
Hold your hand up and focus on your bed from here at the door where we're standing right now.
Okay. I will do that.
And imagine a great white portal appearing before you.
Okay.
And as you do, you see this actually manifesting. Now step through it.
I'm not going to end up in that ashy place again, am I?
No. This is something entirely different.
Okay. All right. Okay. I will do that.
You step forward and you suddenly find yourself on your bed, standing on your bed, and there's a little white portal behind you which kind of slams shut with a kind of like a of slight white ash that kind of disappears very quickly. Congratulations, you've just learned Dimension Door.
Oh!
I noticed that you were missing a spell from your character sheet, so I thought
He chose it for you.
So I thought that's a really good roleplay opportunity, I think.
Yeah, thank you. That's cool.
So if you'd like to add Dimension Door to your character sheet when you have a chance, you now understand how to cast Dimension Door on yourself.
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much.
The lovely thing about this spell is if one of your friends is in immediate trouble next to you, you can take them with you, providing they're not bigger than you are. So
I can drag him into it.
Yeah, Rok is about probably the largest. Maybe somebody else.
Rude.
But you couldn't take someone like Marug with you, I'm afraid. Just too big.
Okay, that's cool. Thank
Did
you.
Alabaster just call me fat?
No, he calls you bigger. He knows that you're bigger than Aisling, but he knows
You just get body shamed by a demon.
Yeah.
I know, right?
I mean, it's very in a demon's wheelhouse, to be fair.
This day gets worse and worse.
Not Alabaster.
Alabaster wouldn't body shame. It's not his deal.
Yeah.
No, but his implication was that your size is relative to the person that you can take through with you.
Cool.
So, the rest of your evening goes fine. Eugene, you have some echo dreams. You see a strange corridor of stone, and leading in front of you is a human who looks very elegant, wearing like miner's outfit and things like that. And they're saying to you, "It's not far now. You just need to stay close. We can't use torches, so just stay close to me." And you come round a corner, and you find yourself face to face with a large white crystal person who it seems to be slightly embedded into the rock. And they look at you. "We think we can help, but we need to be fast." And then you wake up.
Suitably cryptic.
I mean, you can make an insight check on yourself or an arcana check.
Let's go for an arcana check.
Or it's
Oh,
because
it's a
you ate
natural
cheese.
20.
Sorry?
Oh!
Nice.
It's a natural 20.
Yeah, I think, Eugene, you're like, oh, that's a hangover from when I touched the memory crystal. That was one of Aaron's memories. I can't.
That's cool.
So it's more of an echo, and you might get a couple of them over the next couple of days, but they will wear away. And you're aware of the fact that probably by the nature of the way the Fae stole the memory, it had actually tried to burrow its way into you. And if it had, those memories would become your own, and that would have been very confusing for your personality.
Yikes.
Wow.
Rok, your dreams are of dragons and wings and deep words and ancient terms. It's been a long time since the Song of Creation sought you out, but given that you stepped into another realm and back again, and you've seen echoes of reality as it is, it just lets you know that it's adding those ideas to those you already know.
Cool. I think Rok would wake up from the dream and immediately just sort of start writing what he dreamt, and things like ideas for stories and ideas for songs and poems. And
within the next 24 hours, you may use your inspiration on yourself once.
Ooh. I inspire myself.
I never.
So
Cool.
You'll wake up at your appropriate times and make your way outside. I don't know if you want to do anything or talk to each other about anything during the night.
I think the second I see Eugene, I'm going to be like, Eugene, guess what?
Yeah?
Oh,
you don't
go
actually
on.
want me to guess?
No, go for it. Guess.
You
Good start.
ate some cheese.
I mean, yes. But also, the main thing I wanted to talk about, we'll talk about the cheese later. Let's put a pin in that. The main thing I wanted to talk about...
I mean, we really should talk about the cheese.
Shit, not yet. Hold on. I learned a cool thing last night. Alabaster helped me learn it. I can do Dimension Door now. I can do portals like you.
Great. Awesome.
Yeah.
Be
It's very
careful,
cool.
though.
Ooh, why?
Well, Dimension Door, it can sort of go wrong. So just...
He didn't mention that.
Well, yeah, he probably wouldn't, would he? But just be careful that when you... How do I put this? When you decide you're going to go somewhere, make sure that the destination you're going to end at is free of anything else.
Well, okay. Why?
because it will hurt.
I'll bash into it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh.
and trust me, teleporting into something is a lot
Oh.
worse than like running into something.
Oh. What it would like go in you?
Potentially, yeah. So just be careful. Just be careful.
Okay, I'll be careful.
What? I figured you probably understood that. Don't teleport into walls. It's fairly common sense.
You have been inside my brain long enough to know that you should put that disclaimer on stuff for me.
I don't know. It's almost like I didn't just teach you a powerful and wonderful new spell.
You did, but you should have given me the tiny little caveat that I should be careful not to smash into stuff because you know who I am.
I'm not your dad.
No, but you got to make sure I stay alive.
Oh,
Do you have something else to say to me? Because you're just gesticulating now, and should I leave?
Oh,
or...
yeah, no, I'm just telling him off because he didn't tell me about the bashing stuff. Sorry, yeah, go for it. I just wanted to tell you because I was well excited.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna leave you to it then. Also, the first time you do it, you'll probably throw up. Just a warning.
Oh, I managed to not throw up when I tried it.
Oh, good.
But that
good
was
for you.
only like a few feet. So if it's more,
Oh, yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. Thanks. Oh, good morning.
Good morning. I'm gonna go find some
Yeah.
breakfast that's not covered in oats and dirt. See you later.
Oh, dear.
I think it's brilliant
Shade
how
of it all.
we've been together so long that we're all so comfortable around each other.
Yep.
Even Eugene is dishing out the shade.
I think you all congregate for breakfast, which is it's kind of hearty breads and cheeses and a little bit of meats from like the markets and things like that. So Auntie Needles is sipping a cup of tea and knitting a scarf. Alice is reading a book on Klaus Kern, actually, trying to get us jump on, trying to be helpful. Bosch is stuffing his face with a whopping great leg of pork. Mallory is nowhere to be seen. There are a few servants kind of drifting back and forth, like topping drinks up and things. Oh, yes, Clyde. The troll stops and turns. You finish your service today. Do be a dear and don't eat people again. Thank you. And she claps her hands and you just see the butler uniform he just apparates out of the butler's uniform and it just crumples to the floor.
He's been rapturous.
And then just disappears.
He ate people.
I just need to pop away for a second.
He ate them.
Yes, trolls eat other humanoids. They are renowned for it.
Okay.
And I caught him. And it was a member of the Enclave. So he has spent the last 100 years serving us.
100?
Yes.
Okay.
No wonder he looked so uncomfortable.
Yeah, he was having a bad time, wasn't he?
Oh, I mean, it wasn't supposed to be a good time, to be fair. It's
How long do trolls live for?
hundreds of years. A giant kin.
Whoa. Okay.
Yes, I think the oldest one I've ever met was something along the lines of about a millennia. That was before the adventurers he was trying to tracked him down, of course.
Oh boy. Okay.
So, and about this time that Aaron comes through, kind of looking a little groggy.
Morning.
Morning. Oh, coffee is amazing. Coffee.
Did you sleep?
I did, but it was
That-
like I was processing a lot of information that I didn't have yesterday that I do now.
So body slept, brain didn't. Okay.
I think that's a thing here.
Why? Did you have some weird sleep as well?
Oh yeah, like crazy dreams.
Oh.
It's all right. I've got lots of ideas. I wrote them all down. So yes, but yeah, I mean, quite vivid, which I think is probably down to this place being magic.
Well, we do like to help you with your dreams if we can.
Ooh. What?
It's wild magic. It kind of enhances the imagination a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so I should take it the four of you will be making your way over to see the miners this morning.
Yeah, I think it's fun.
I think so.
Excellent. So, is there anything you need from me before you go? I will make sure that Alice gets back to Cloud's Cairn. I've already sent a message to your uncle asking him to receive her and just get her settled in.
No, unless there's any information you could give us that would be helpful as we go to talk to the miners.
Yes, talk to Ulf.
Ulf?
Ulf Thunderson.
Thunderson, what a lovely name.
He is the brains of the operation, despite the fact he may not look it. He's also don't tell him I told you this, but he's a complete sweetie.
Okay, don't lead with the sweetie part. Got it.
And if he's not around, Halueth is usually his right-hand woman, and she can be trusted.
And can we tell them that you sent us?
Absolutely. I mean,
okay, good.
We want to get this flow going as quick as we can. Like, part of our arrangement with Cloud's Cairn and the people therein is we will keep the mines open and this relationship going and make sure the miners are protected, so that, and in turn we get our own space outside the city, which of course reduces persecution and prevents any smart humanoids who don't like Fae from tracking us down.
Yeah. How far away is the mines?
You go, probably your best bet is to go across the bridge and then use the scaffolding to go down around to we're kind of north at the moment, but to go to the east side from there probably take you about half a day to get there on foot.
Okay.
I would say you should take your cart, but then that's probably, you're going to have to go around the base of the mountain, and that's going to take longer.
I also don't fancy taking a cart on scaffolding, so...
Wait, no. Yes, okay, fine. So, Mallory sends her best wishes and her love. She is currently...
Rock will be pleased to hear that.
She's currently contemplating making a new type of butterfly, I think she said.
Just casually...
Archfey are whimsical creatures, is all I can say. And if she says she can do it, I believe her, because she's never proven herself wrong before.
Fair.
So, I will pack some food, some sandwiches for the road. And
thank you.
Make sure you wear your good cloaks, because I think it is possibly going to rain later today.
Have you seen my new scarf? I'm gonna be fine.
I forgot about your scarf.
I put it up with the hood style thing, and I sort of pull it, and my horns go through it. So it fits quite nicely.
You were going to say something, Theo.
I was just asking if it was waterproof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I paid a little bit extra to get it waterproof.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Okay, right. I will get her sorted, and she does, and she gets you kind of get a packed lunch in a little brown bag and things like that, and some fruit.
Has it got our names written on them so
Absolutely,
we know who
tied with string, and yep, and a little tiny kiss underneath each name.
It's getting a little too familiar, to be honest.
You imagine it when you open it; they've all been cut into those tiny little triangles, just as they
God.
melt.
No crust.
No crust, no, unless you wanted them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rooney already. Eugene has the crusts cut off.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I think Eugene's sister would have big issue with that.
Yeah, well, she's nice, so.
Oh, Eugene's going. I told you, Eugene's going rogue on us.
Amazing.
I love it. The spicy Eugene.
I know, right?
You wrap up and get yourself sorted, and Auntie Needles shows you out. Milksop, my dear, would you please show these lovely young people to the scaffolding so that they can make their way to the miners? Absolutely, Auntie. I have absolutely no problem with that. Are you all ready to go? Have you used the facilities?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, off we go then. And she just starts trundling ever so slowly across the bridge.
God, I hope she's not taking us too far.
I feel like we take one step and wait a few seconds for her to do the rest and then take another step.
And it's funny because it's almost like this is deliberate. So you kind of do this thing and you're so busy concentrating on trying not to overtake her that you don't realise that after about 10 paces, you're about a mile away from where you were.
Damn.
Here is the boundary of where I can take you, but you are not far from the scaffolding that leads to the mines.
Great. Thanks.
You can actually see the surface of the mountain. It's kind of like, you know how mountainsides, like as you get closer, they look less like mountains and more like lots of tiny cliffs and things like that. And some was very cleverly built in some very structurally strong looking wooden planks and boards, and they go all up and down. Follow the scaffold clockwise and make sure you don't go Widdershins, and you should find the miners quickly.
Good.
Do
Great.
not go into the mines at the moment. It's probably not safe.
Okay.
It was
Thank
very
you.
nice meeting you.
You too. Bye now.
Rock, hey, yeah.
And
Thanks.
she goes, and I think you all kind of look at each other and look back, and she's gone.
Oh, now she moves fast.
Just like sprinting.
Yeah, I think you just actually have a perception check.
Yeah. 11.
12.
13.
No, none of you see her doing this.
Yeah.
She's doing a Naruto run.
She's just gone.
Right, well, that took longer but got us further than I expected, so... Right, we're ready to head to the mines?
Would you like
I
me
guess
to lead the way?
Climb this stuff.
Yeah, well, do you want me to lead the way? Because I've actually been around the scaffolding before.
Yeah.
Cool. All of you make a survival check.
Good boy.
Including Aaron. It's a group check.
Survival. Oh, God.
I think it's one of Ashling's strong points.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay.
Oh.
Those faces are such joy for a dungeon master. Dungeon master. Apparently, that's how I say it now.
Donjon.
Wayne, what did Rock get?
A total of 6.
6. It wasn't a natural one though.
No.
I think, however, Theo rolled a natural 1 for Eugene.
Not quite.
Not quite. Natural 2.
Oh.
Yeah, I got 3 total.
3 total.
Oh. I got a dirty 20, so...
Dirty 20, excellent. And Aaron got an 18. So
Okay,
in
hopefully
total,
that'll balance out.
that kind of balances out. It takes you a little longer because I think at one point, Aaron and Ashley, you kind of fall into this whole sort of like, so Aaron explains what they know about how things work and things like that, and you're very good at keeping north is this way, we need to go this way.
Yeah.
And I think two of you have to backtrack a couple of times because you're so busy kind of guiding people forward. You've lost, like, Eugene and Rok are basically recounting what happened the day before, and at one point they almost walk into a cave. Just not quite paying as much attention as the two of you.
And after a while, you hear from behind you, "My cloak is caught on a rock."
God's sake.
And with that roll, I think at one point, Rok, you have to reach out and grab Eugene by the collar as he nearly walks straight off the edge of a plank.
Not again! Stop jumping off stuff.
I'm just going to turn Eugene around and just go, "That's the last time I'm catching you before you plummet to the ground."
I'm sorry, I got to a really interesting part of this book.
Reading and walking, generally quite dangerous. On cliffs, very dangerous.
Yeah, you might be right there.
Come along, let's catch up to them. They're galloping along.
It takes you...
I should really learn Arcane Eye, and then I could have an eye that like looks out for danger.
Oh my
for
god,
me,
like
and
your
then
parking sensor.
I can read.
Like it would make more sense to be able to not read and walk.
But think of all the extra time I'd have to learn things if I can read while walking. I mean, walking gets so boring, don't you think?
Well, no. Just look at the view. It's spectacular. You've got your nose
Well,
in
I've
the
seen
book.
it now.
Yeah, I mean, that is the point, yeah. Oh, I know. Rather than that, what if you got like an unseen servant to carry you everywhere, and then you could just casually sit and read? That makes way more sense to me.
I don't think unseen servants can carry me. I think I'm too heavy.
Well, you could get someone else to carry... Well, actually,
They could carry my book, though.
Oh, they could. Or you could just hire someone to carry you. That could work.
They could just be
Hire
looking
someone
at
to
where
read
I
the
should be
book to you.
going.
Well, there you go.
Yes, the unseen servant could read to me like Audible.
And then you could actually watch where you're walking. That would be a novel idea, yes.
Problem solved.
Also, now we're so far behind Aisling and Aaron that I don't know where they are. So shall we keep moving?
You can probably hear Aisling echoing from round a corner somewhere like, for fuck's sake, where have they gone now?
as the two of them are stomping back, you think you just catch the tail end of like, are they always like this?
Yeah, well, when it's moving to a place, yeah. When it's anything else, I'm them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm navigating.
That's-
I'm the one who can do the thing. Anything
We
don't-
else, they're the ones that can do the thing.
Okay.
We don't all have hooves, Aisling.
I've not fallen over once.
I know. You're designed for climbing on rocks.
Because there's no ladders here.
I'm a little mountain goat just hopping up.
Exactly.
So you guys come round the crest of the mountain and start descending down as they're kind of guided down, like steps and ladders and things like that. And you...
Oh, God, not ladders, Aisling.
It's fine. And she rolls so well on her survival that she's well ahead of it. You see what is a funny little makeshift village made of tents and small wooden buildings. And it's probably about 20 or 30 people milling around down there. And you kind of make your way to the end of the scaffolding, climb down, and there's 4 or 5 very burly humanoids of different species, kind of all standing around looking at you as you come.
Morning!
A very, very big blue-skinned orc with dreaded hair that's all sort of tied back, wearing probably a shirt that's a little too small for him, kind of who are you and what are you doing here?
My name is Rok. We're here to talk to Ulf.
Oh, yeah. Hang on. And come with me. Kind of gives everyone else a look, and there's a couple of them kind of fall in. There's fall in with you. There's a sandy yellow-haired male human, and like a female half elf who kind of is giving you all a look over as you kind of walk past. Everybody else is kind of very generic. Some dragonborn, lots of humans and cityborn, a couple of halflings, a minotaur who has obviously come out here because it's one of the places that his kind can take advantage of their size and strength.
It is his birthright as a mime.
And his ability to find his way in the in the labyrinth is useful. So says Chris, moving it on.
Oh, okay, cool.
So you're bought before the one of the most solid looking wooden buildings, and inside you can see there's a few miners sort of chatting away to a very familiar, very tall, grey-skinned man with like blue tattoos. This is the Goliath that Aisling danced with at the
My
Grand
pal!
Ball. This is Ulf Thunderson.
Yeah.
Which I didn't think you got the name at that point, but that's he did tell you who he
I
was.
did. It's something in my brain went, but I've been in the sun too much today, and my brain's broken. That is fair.
And he looks up, and he's kind of momentarily confused as he casts his eyes, and then he kind of sets on Aaron, and there's a kind of a look of relief on his face for a second, and then he looks at Aisling, and he's just big, broad grin, and he just literally rushes around from the table.
I'm already running towards him,
and just picks her up in a big hug, and just kind of like squeezes as hard as he can without hurting you, and then drops you. I did. Well, oh, you came out. I mean, what are you doing here? This is amazing. Oh, and your friends, and he kind of just grabs Aaron and just holds her like close, like a big brotherly hug, and just holds her back. Like, we thought you'd gone. We didn't know what happened to you. And Aaron looks a little embarrassed and is actually slightly blushing. Tucks her hair behind her ear for a second. Goes, well, I got in trouble with Faye, and these three helped me. This is Rok, and she kind of grabs your hand and puts it in this huge meaty hand that kind of just shakes, almost pulls you over for a second, then just steadies you, like just enthusiastic. And this is Eugene. And I take it, and he's much gentler with you, Eugene. Kind of he's assessed the situation a bit better.
Rok's just going to very pointedly say, it appears that you have met Aisling.
Aisling's
we hung out. We hung out at the party.
Yeah, and Aisling's a great dancer, and we had fun. And cheese. All the cheese.
So we had a very good time.
Yep, you definitely know Aisling.
So, what are you all doing here? Like, you're Parshkit's champions. What are you doing here?
We are, yes.
Is everything all right?
We need to talk with one of the Crythoric, but we understand that they've kind of shut the mines.
Yeah, it's and every time we've tried to force our way in, it's got dangerous. There's strange creatures running around in there that we don't know what they are.
Is that a recent thing?
Very. Like the mine's been clear for a long time, and we can't. Why would we think maybe the Cryphoric put them in, but we don't understand why.
Is it to like guard it?
Maybe. It's just like about 2 months ago they started getting complaints about the fact that we were mining places we weren't, but my men were all accounted for, so I didn't know what they were talking about. And when I went to talk to the Grand Memory, they didn't want to talk to me. They said that we had broken the pact. I was marched out. My people were all shut out of the mine, and every time we tried to go back in since, it's a mess, and we haven't been able to do work for over a month now.
I wouldn't be one to cast aspersions, but forgive me for asking, but you're absolutely sure that none of your men did anything that broke the agreement? You say that with utter certainty?
I mean, not 100% certainty, but I know them all. I hired them all. Most of them are in awe of the Cryphoric and want to help their home, or they're terrified of the Fae and any repercussions for breaking this deal.
Have any of them, your men, gone missing or been acting strangely through all of this? Anyone that you think could have done something?
I mean, not that I picked up of. And I think, Aisling, I think you spent enough time with Ulf to, even if there was, it might have escaped his notice. He's a lovely guy, but he's not the most observant person. So it is possible that someone could have been doing something under his nose and he wouldn't have known.
I will keep that to myself for now because I don't want to be mean.
Yeah. Ali's, I mean, when Ali's was the newest person to come and fight, like, help us, and like, Ali came really highly recommended. I was introduced to her at the Grand Ball, actually.
Aaron, you mean?
Aaron, sorry. That's my fault. Too many A names now.
Yeah, there's a fresh few.
Yeah, Aaron was introduced to me at the Grand Ball by a tiefling woman, beautiful. Long.
Oh, Julie, definitely.
Yeah,
yes.
said that could help, and has been really helpful. Yeah, but I mean, you're welcome to have a look around, and anything we can do to help. If you're here to help us, we will do everything we can to support you.
Do you have a way that we can communicate with the Cathoric and try and get a message at least that we would like to talk to them?
Always rather been on their terms, to be honest. I don't.
How do you normally get them to come here?
Well, they don't come out unless they go. Unless one of their people is going out on like a life quest. The only one we met two recently. One called Ruby. And that was 3 months ago, and they went off. They said they were going off to study magic at one of the colleges. They had decided. I think, from what I understand, they had an obligation that they wanted to fill. And Ghost came back. Yeah, nice.
Okay.
Nice person, Ghost. Very friendly, very warm, very good with humans. Good with people.
Yeah, we're kind of making a bit of a beeline for Ghost.
Oh, you know Ghost?
Well, Eugene does.
Yes, we've met. We actually travelled together for a short time.
Oh, that kind of makes sense. Ghost likes to travel with people. They did have a companion, but we haven't been able to find her.
Yeah, she's pretty elusive.
Yeah, we were worried about her because we haven't seen her since this all started as well.
Is there any way that we could see the Cathoric? Like, is there any way that they gather? Some way that we could even see them in the distance and may be able to signal?
That's the thing. When they're inert, unless they've shaped themselves deliberately, they just look like minerals. It's one of the reasons we've been so cautious about only mining where they want to, because we don't want to accidentally hit any of them or hurt any of them or anything like that.
Yes, that would be a definite problem.
And
Ashling's immediately looking around like, any of these could be there. Oh my god.
I think, and it kind of picks up on that. And that's exactly it. Like, it kind of picks up a small crystal. Like, a Crythoric is not like you or me. Like, they're not a person. They are. This would be a Crythoric, and then he picks up another one, and then that would be part of the same colony hive.
Well, put them down.
These are proper aether crystals. Like you're saying.
I'm going to quickly point to where Aisling is standing and just go, "Oh my god, you're standing on one!"
I like leap away.
Mirthful leap.
Yep. I'm gone.
Ashling is 60 foot away.
Yep.
Dimension door.
Yeah.
Dimension door.
Away. Muffled dimension door leap.
I'm on top of the cliff, just going, is
Where's
it okay now?
Yeah. Where's Ashling? Oh, she's over there throwing up. It's fine.
I believe I might have had an idea, Rock.
I mean, I have no idea how we get around this. So
Well, I've got that paper that Grease gave me, so
Yes.
I could write to Ghost. Right? We could send him a message. Them a message. We could send them a message.
well,
That's a
yes.
great
I
idea.
mean, that's a great idea. I mean, I assumed that the paper would just find a way to him. So
Yeah, because I mean the mines are shut, but there's got to be. I mean, they fold themselves up pretty small, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure they could find a way through.
Ooh, you are very clever, aren't you? Sometimes.
I think that's a great idea. In the meantime, we can also look for that person that I spoke to before.
Yes.
If there is somewhere that we can, that we know there is somebody to talk to, I could also communicate with them sort of telepathically. We don't have to be right with them. So if that's of any help,
The orcs. Do you need to be able to see them for that?
I don't know. I'm just thinking about that.
And he kind of, and everyone sort of looks at him just to say, "Wow, where did that come from?" And he kind of looks. He goes a little sort of dark purple under the cheeks. He just looks a little shy.
Do you know? I've just remembered that I do need to be able to see them.
Weird.
It's just that I was trying to learn the telepathy spell. You see, because you don't.
No.
I don't.
No, it's cool.
Why were you learning the telepathy spell?
Why not? That's none of our business, Rob.
Ulf smiles
Fair enough.
proudly and goes, "Connor's actually smarter than the rest of us, and we've been trying to buy him some books on magic and stuff."
Hell yeah.
Oh well, I mean, you should talk to. I mean, Ashling is very good with magic.
I'm not very good. I kind
Well,
of.
don't be silly. Everyone has to start somewhere. Eugene has many books, and I'm sure can tell you where to start looking at things like that. And, I mean, and feel free to ask any of us. I mean, Ashling does magic, as do I. So, I mean, everyone has to start somewhere. No, but I think that's remarkable. Well done.
It's well good.
He's like a deep purple, blushing at the moment. He goes, thank you. I'll think about that, and I'm going to go back and make sure that
What was
people
his
aren't
name?
drinking.
Connor.
We must protect Connor at all costs.
I know.
I'm writing that.
I'm going to write it in my important NPCs places
Me too.
on my pad from Theo Blue.
Do.
So, why don't I show you around and you can meet some of the people, and Aaron kind of looks up and goes, "Well, that's a good idea for me because I can see if I can see the person I saw before."
And it's good for us because then we can know who's here.
Right. Well, welcome to the cairn. I think you're going to enjoy it once we get this problem solved. It's actually a very exciting place to be. And that is where we're going to wrap today. Because I don't want to go on too long. Because our wonderful friends at A Wicked Game, as we speak, are getting ready to start their charity week.
They're
I'm so excited.
They're 8 days a week charity week.
They're 8 days a week.
Mad.
365 days an hour.
8 days a wicked week.
8 days a
Mad
wicked week. They
8
are,
days a wicked week doth make.
It doth make verily.
Oh God. It's too
Sorry,
hot for this.
I'm a bit dehydrated. I'm lisping.
Yeah. So hang around, stay with us. We are going to drop you into Wicked Game as soon as they're available. In the meantime, I think we'll go around and just let everybody know who you are, where they can find you on the internet, and what you've got coming up. We're going to start with Wayne.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. It really means a lot to us, honestly, to have people join us. And it's just really important. It means so much. So thank you. You can find me on all the socials as WayneFic01. And my website is waynefic.com, should you be interested in finding out more about personal branding and similar such things. That's about it for me.
Awesome.
Ooh, Reedy's just told us that they are live, so we can head over straight after this.
My finger is on the button, so we're ready to go, which is great. I'm actually going to be able to do this. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fine.
Oh!
Theo, would you like to go second, please?
Hello, I have been Theo and will continue to be Theo, hopefully. You can find me on the internet at theoblueillustration.com, and you can find me in real life if you wish, and if you are somewhat local to Norwich. You can come see me at Norwich Pride, which is on Saturday. If you're anywhere near Norwich, you should come to Norwich Pride because it's going to be awesome. And there is a makers market on Theatre Street all day Saturday. Well, 10 till 4, but that's practically all day. And I'll be there, as will many other talented queer creatives. So come see us. Give us your money if you want. Also, I am part of a really cool exhibition at the moment for Pride, which is at the Assembly House right next to the car park where there will be a makers market. So you can do both at the same time. Well, not at the same time, one after the other, but in the same trip.
I mean, if you can do it both at the same time, please let us know how, because that's
why
a
not?
really useful skill.
Yes, Beyond the Flag exhibition is a exhibition by Norwich Pride about the symbolism and the importance of the Pride flag, and that is at the Assembly House upstairs in the Pierce Room, and it is on until Sunday. So check it out.
I think we're going to pop along to that as well because it'd be really, really cool. Charlie.
Hi, I have been Charlie. Thank you, Wayne. My website is charlievince.com. That's got all links to my socials and my portfolio, and my shop is on there as well. And pigeonclothing.com is still a thing. There's still lots of stuff on there, and I'm going to be putting a bunch of new things on there soon, including a load of denim jackets, because turns out they're really fun to paint on. So,
and they're really cool. The last one you did was so good.
They're very fun. That's cool. Pretty much me. I will be nipping between my friend's stall and helping Theo on your stall for toilet breaks and stuff at Pride. So I will be there, not with my own stall. There you go. Yay. Not on my own stall, but helping folks. So if you see me, say hi. And thank you everyone for coming. Thank you, Chris. This has been awesome as always. And hi, Mum. Love you, Mum.
Hi, Charlie's Mum.
And I'm well excited for Wicked Week. This is going to be so good.
Amazing. Which just leaves me to wrap up the stream. I am available at chrismepham.com/links, where you will find all my socials and where you can find me on the internet. Please do pop past, let me know what you're doing. I have commissions open at the moment. If you fancy some art, you look at my art and you go, hey, that guy knows how to draw. I would like some of that. Please get in touch. I would love to talk to you about character art and getting some bits and pieces done. You can see Wayne and I next on Thursday as part of Wicked Week, where we will be involved in their 12-hour stream, which is a prelude to their 24-hour stream, which starts the following day. Crazy people. Amazing. Crazy. It's going to be really exciting. Wayne and I finished off our characters and just double-checked everything this weekend. I'm massively excited. I know Wayne is as well. We're both playing things that we haven't played before as well, which is going to be crazy. So come and watch us be high level and absolutely awful at it. It's going to be fun.
Hell yeah.
Charlie and I both forgot to say that we will. You can see us next tomorrow.
Yay!
On the Friends with Michelle's art stream.
Amazing.
So,
cool.
We'll be streaming with Michelle drawing tomorrow from 2 till 5.
Right? So.
Yeah.
No stream for us, busy birds, next week because we like the guys from Wicked Game will probably be recovering from all the things that we're doing this week, but we are back the following week where we will continue with this adventure. Cool. So, without further ado, thank you so much, everybody. I saw a couple of people subscribed, and we really do appreciate it. Thank you so much, and the people that follow us as well. We really do love having you. We love doing this for you. We are going to start our raid and drop you into Wicked Game. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
It's going.
Woohoo.
Hang on.
Get that right. Wicked right.
Push the button.
We're gonna come take all your spices and silks. We're gonna
Push the win button.
Did it work?
It did.
Yeah.
Yay! Awesome.
Yay!
Yay.
I'm very excited. I've got my Xbox on and ready to go so I can watch it.
Amazing. Cool. I've got so many screens open. I think I've muted that particular one.
Is it in sync? Oh my god,
I
look
have
how
to,
red I am!
Did some of the heroes do it? Is that what we needed? Was some of the heroes?
Wait, chat, is it in sync?
We're in the same space.
Oh, is this in sync?
It's in sync.
Oh,
It's in sync.
fuck. All I need to do is threaten my laptop.
Mum says she loved it and she
right.
loves us all.
Everyone,
Oh,
Fixed.
awesome.
you
Sorry.
ready?
Glad we know exactly how that.
Right, just going to mute
okay.
this again.
It's so good to see you.
Hello. Right, sorry. Hi. Sorry, guys.
Hi!
Torn attention for a second there. Thank you so much.